I'm creating a new project now, and I will call this project as parameter demo. And I'm going to include maybe payload, but maybe different project. That's okay. So I call it as parameter demo, or let me call it as query param demo. Okay, that's what. And I call it as, let's say, query param demo 1. Okay, that's what I do. Finish. So scaffolding happened for the project. Now I will use these terms, scaffolding. Go back the recording of Hello World project and check it, what I said about scaffolding. I will drag the flow. So this is my flow. I'll take the HTTP listener. So HTTP listener, this is what I'll drag. Okay. And I'll complete the configuration of this first. So I click on plus, same configuration. And I give localhost here, and I give the port 9001. Generally, I use 9001. You can use any port. Then, okay. The path, I'm not touching the path. I have not explained you about the path. Let me say / nothing else. I ask you to blindly follow that. Still, I will say blindly follow this. I'm not explaining this. Soon I will get into this path also. So my first target, red mark, goes away. So no error. Let me save this. After this, I'm going to have logger, which will be printing the parameter value. So I'm taking the logger, and I will be having set payload, which will be setting the response, setting the payload actually. Okay. Fine. And what I do in the logger, now I will be using that. This is literal mode is on. That's why it is all black. Okay. It is a string. So I'm just change it to expression. I want to write an expression here. Now see how I write the expression. I get into the expression mode first, and then I write message. So MESSAGE. Look at that. The color got changed. Observe that the moment my message got typed, if I say capital message, let me look at this. So sometime it try to match up with your case mistakes and all, but it is case sensitive. So it has to be small message. The color got changed, and it is the system context object. Remember that. This message object will be created for you by Mulesoft, and it will be provided to you to use. Now, if I say dot, see the magic. You can see the box will appear, and you have to select, because your message contains payload and attribute. I told you that your Mule message contains attributes and the payload. So right now we are not concerned with payload. I'm concerned with attributes. So I'll go to attributes. I select that, double click, it got selected. One more time dot, see the magic. These all attributes are available in the Mule message currently. So listener path, raw request path, DAM, so many attributes. Right now, let us not talk about all these attributes and all. In documentation, you can easily get the information about all attribute. Let us focus on query parameter. So there is attribute which is called as query parameters, which holds all the parameter value which are coming from the Postman. So let me select it, double click, query params. Now you put one more time dot. Now if you say name, don't select this name. Okay, actually it is telling you that put the name of the parameter here. So what do you do? Type the name of the parameter. In my case, the parameter name is greet str. Greet string, it may be hello, hi, bye, welcome, whatever. Greet string, that's what. So this is the heart of the whole activity. Let me come back. Exactly the same thing. If you see, the P capital. In this whole show, message is small, attributes is small. There is a less chance to make the mistake in attribute because you press a dot and then you select. You're not typing it. Same thing for query parameters. Okay, and you can see my project got ready. Okay, query params and the name of the parameter. It is also case sensitive. Fine, so that's what I'm going to print it on the console. So let me just save that and let me come to set payload, and I will be just putting some string value over here. Here I went into the literal mode, so I don't want to put the expression. And now what I put is, this is what I want, thanks for using my app. So let me put it robo style, thanks for using my app. Okay, let me save this. All good. Let me know any configuration I have done anywhere in this project and you have not understood that. I configure the local host and the port number in the listener. I configure the expression in the logger by getting into the expression mode, and I configure the payload value, which will be in turn will be the response to the postman. Any configuration. Okay, so you have the question. Let me get into Tedeschi. Go ahead. I'm giving you, yes, Tedeschi, go on.
Yeah, like when you say it on the logger, you didn't close the what do you call? Yeah,
Bracket.
the bracket. Yeah, you didn't close it.
That's the good observation. But what happened? There is already the closer bracket at the end. If you look at here,
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah.
right? So here, that's a very good thing. You observed that here I don't have to put again bracket, otherwise it will be duplicate. So whenever you enter into this, let me cut this and let me get into the literal. So the moment I click on expression mode, you can see the hash mark, the opening bracket, and at the end closing bracket. Everything is already there. And whatever I am
Okay,
putting, that is going inside the square bracket.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Madhusudan, coming to you. Go on, Madhusudan.
So is the greet string is a standard built-in
No,
parameter?
no. You can give anything, but you have to make sure that the same thing has to be passed from the postman. So there is an agreement between the Mule app and the postman that what will be the value of the query parameter. And that has to be followed by both of them. So here we are trying to access greet str. So it is responsibility of postman to really send that same name in the query parameter. If postman change the name, there will be mismatch.
So
It
this
is
can
not
be any
standard. It can be anything, any name.
any
Correct. Greet string, you may put like str111, something like that. That is also possible. Okay, so you put anything, any damn thing. It's not greet str is my own defined thing. Okay, I can put anything over there. I put like, let's say, greet msg message. Okay, this is just I'm configuring that. It's up to me what I give that. That's a good question. Okay. And whenever you ask the question, maybe that doubt get clarified in all's mind, it like that's the beauty of answering your question. That's great. So let me see if I have any pending queues in the, no, very good. Okay. So I'm ready to execute. Right click, debug, and save. I missed to save. I'll wait. This is my rest time whenever it gets deployed, So rest time for me. Okay, you can see that it got into the debug mode now automatically. I'm happy with that. That's okay. My machine has SSD, not HDD hard disks. It's SSD. And even if it's 8 GB RAM, it's like running like faster than 16 GB RAM. I observe that. Okay, so deployed. And now I will be sending the message from here. So now be careful. The method will be get, that's perfect. Localhost 9001, that is perfect. And now I'm going to send the parameter. So where I will send the parameter, below you can see params, So key is the name of the parameter and value is the value of the parameter. So what I do, I will just click inside this. Remember, you have to follow whatever is accessible over there. I need to follow that. Ignore this thing, this is earlier I executed something, that response is appearing here. Ignore this completely. If you want, I will start my Postman once again. Let me start it from scratch. So I'm starting my Postman and then I'll send a fresh request. Don't worry. Okay. Fine. Okay. Close. Here I just say localhost 9001 is all the time. Okay. And then what is that? Greet message I have given, right? Git message. And it is the message. Hello, buddy. Okay, this is the message. You can have blank space also in the message. Now look at the URL, it's automatically getting formed. Localhost, let me copy this and show you in the notepad in the bigger font so that you will see that. The URL getting formed, like this. Have a look on that. Localhost colon 9001 question mark greet msg equal to hello buddy. This is the URL which will be sent to the Mule app. Okay, that's how the HTTP URL getting formed. This is what is called as query parameter. Okay, so let me come to this and let me click on send. And let's see in the Anypoint Studio, it will get the message. It will copy the query parameter to Mule message. Logger will print the query parameter value and the result will be sent back. Look at that. Okay, I got the message. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy is there. And you can see it sent the message to, where is my Postman? Yeah, it sent the message, thanks for using my app. This is the set payloads work, that it is putting some value in the payload. Okay. So set payload is putting the value in the payload. Before that, payload is null. Query parameter, I hope you understood, greet message. Now, if I by mistake, if I give something else here, so see what happens. I made a mistake in parameter name. The parameter name which I am using and the parameter name which my Mule app is accessing, there is a mismatch. Click on send. Null. You can see it is having null because it is trying to print grit MSG which is missing. So null. And anyway, that set payload will do its job. So there will be no difference. Thanks for using my app. Understood? So this is what Madhusudan was asking, whether greet str is defined, but if I say greet MSG, it has to be greet MSG all the time. Okay, understood? So main thing to understand on the board which I explain you, how the copy, whenever HTTP message which contains query parameter, if it is converted into Mule message, the query parameter gets copied. Payload is also getting copied. Now let me show you something. If I go to one more thing I want to add here, let me be my project running, no problem. I'm getting into the design perspective. So look at the way I'm getting into design perspective. These buttons are there. I will get into the design perspective. Still my project is running on the fly. I'm modifying that and it will be redeployed. What I do, I put one logger. Okay, I put the logger here. I put the logger over here before your main logger. I get into the expression mode. And what I do, message dot, I print payload. Message dot payload. Now, somebody who is smartest person in the room, tell me what will happen. What will be the output? I just save it. It will be redeployed. Once I save, it will be redeployed here. Okay, it is getting redeployed. And you can see now it got redeployed. So can you tell me, if my postman is sending a greet message, what all will be printed on the screen? How many lines will be printed on the console? One or two? This logger, there are two loggers. First logger printing the payload, which is there inside the message. And second logger is printing greet MSG. Can you tell me what will be the output? Put it in the chat box. Only null will be printed? No, I want the whole output once the message got arrived. So there are two loggers. So only one null will be printed, or what will happen with other logger, you know? Null, message, null. Okay. Only two logger. How come you said three things, Madhusudan? How come null, message, null? Srikant is saying null. Null and message. Perfect. Okay, so firstly, payload is not coming from the postman. That's why null. Okay. Now depends what is coming from the postman. If postman is sending payload, then payload will be printed. If postman is not sending payload, payload will be null. Now see, my project is running and I show you my greet message. So see the output carefully. My greet message, I'll put one by one your name, you know. I just say hello Brooke. That is the message. And I say click on send and look at the output. Look at the output. So nothing got printed. Null means now it is how this logger works, you know. Nothing got printed if it is null. So payload is coming as a null, nothing got printed. You are right, firstly null and then the message. And in the postman, thanks for using my app. Perfect. Okay, now what I do, I just send the payload from postman. My application is still running. I don't have to do anything with my application. I just change this to post. I change this to post, and I don't touch this, leave that. Parameter is, this time I'll say hello Srikant. So be with me if I'm doing any mistake, you know. Let me see your, generally we don't tolerate if somebody make mistake in the name Srikant. I think that's awesome. No mistake. Okay. So I send a message, payload, where I can get the payload. So I said post method. For payload, use post method. Parameter anyway there. If I go down, this is like here, along with parameter, there is something called as body. Body. Go to body to give the payload. None, no payload. Raw. So I will forget about other things, you know, leave that. Raw. Select raw over there and select maybe text or XML or JSON or any format. JavaScript, HTML, we don't want to do anything. Text is fine. So below are items ordered by Srikant. Some payload I'm sending. Multiple lines, absolutely fine. Hard disks, mouse, monitor, mic, keyboard. So this is like a complete text content, the complete attachment. This I am pushing to your app. Your app, no change in that. Let me push that and look at here. Okay, see that? Firstly, it is printing the payload. So below are ordered items ordered by Srikanth, and you can see all items are printed here. And then finally, it got printed the message also. Hello Srikanth is the greet string, that's what is getting printed. So this is how you can deal with payload which is coming from your Postman. What I try to discuss today, getting the query parameters from the Postman, getting the payload from the Postman. I tell you one shortcut now. If you look at the logger, I said message.payload. So there is one more context object which directly hold the payload. That is nothing but payload. And that's what we directly do, just payload. So even if I just say payload, let me save this, let it be redeployed. So the moment you save, it will be redeployed, no doubt. Okay, perfect, redeployed. And even if I send this message, so this time I make parameter and I make like hello Madhu. Okay, just say send. Look at here, and we do have all the, so this time it is below items ordered by Srikanth, and hello Madhu will be the get string, get message, greet message. That's what will be there. Okay, just you can use, let me note down. So hash message dot payload or hash directly payload. Okay, returns the payload value in the Mule message. As simple as that. You can use anything of that. Generally, developers prefer this payload directly. They don't go to message.payload. It's a shortcut. So context object, there are two context objects we learned so far. One is message, which holds Mule message containing attributes and payload. Then we do have payload, holds the payload in the message. Same way, I do have attributes. So message.attributes. There is a shortcut for this also. Message.attributes that holds all attributes in the message, all attributes in the Mule message. There is a shortcut for this also. You can directly use attributes, attributes. Directly you say attributes, that's fine. But generally this is not advisable. Message.attributes we say always. Because every time if you go for shortcut, that will be too much, and that will be mess around there. Let me see if any question for me. Yeah, Tennessee coming to that. Okay. I think my phone is ringing. Let me put it off. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so message.attributes, and there is directly attributes, So the way you use, I show you the shortcut as well. but that's not frequently used, by developers. So message.attributes.query parameter, so this thing can be just replaced with attributes. I show you that. This thing, how I can type directly, I will directly say attributes. Just like payload, this is the shortcut, attributes, and directly there will be like query parameter and dot greet msg. So I can put it like this. But you will get confused because many times you will not find such kind of code in your actual project. So I suggest don't go to this shortcut. Use this one for attributes. Perfectly fine. Okay. Okay, let me come to Tedeschi and let me see if the question is there. Yes, sorry, I unmuted Tamrat. Tedeschi, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Sam. I get confused here when you try to add another logger. How it comes to null in message? I couldn't understand that. Is there any way you can?
Okay, so what I'm printing in the first logger, Tedeschi?
The message attribute.
No, in the first logger, I'm printing something else. What is that? Look at here.
Payload.
Exactly. So whatever mule message which is coming, it contains two compartments. That's what we said, right? This
Yeah.
box, this box. So top compartment and the bottom compartment. Previously, I was not sending payload from the Postman. So that's why that was coming as null. And I was sending the greet string, so that was coming here previously. So
Okay.
if you look at my project, first logger is printing the payload and second logger is printing the greet message parameter, right? That's what is
Okay.
happening.
Okay.
And that's the reason if you look at the outcome, firstly, I'm sending the payload this time. So this is the payload. Am I right? Hard disk, mouse, monitor. That is what the payload. I will show once
Yeah.
again how to show post method and payload and how to send it from the Postman. Once again, I'll show you that. And
Okay.
this will be nothing but hello Madhu is nothing but the message. That's what is the second logger. This hello Madhu
Yeah.
is the output of second logger, and hard disk monitor, this all is the output of first logger.
Okay.
Right. So what I show you, if you hold on for a while, let me just send this. Now I change the parameter name also here. So I just put the parameter name like, let's say, hello Tedeschi. Okay, just be with me, spelling mistake. And the body, I will send, this is my payload. Actually, this is the payload value. Okay, the text itself is a payload value that I show like this, that I send like this. And now I click on send. And let me see what getting printed on the console. Look at here what getting printed. Firstly, the payload. That's what is getting printed. This is my payload. That's what is getting printed. Second one
Yeah.
is the query parameter. That's what is getting printed. Last two
Okay.
lines is the latest output. Clear?
Yeah. Clear.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Okay. No problem.